Let's start. Take a breath in and a breath out through your nose. Breathe in and breathe out, feeling your seat, feeling this body just as it is in this moment, as though you've never practiced yoga before. And maybe you are brand new, but how about this practice is like you've never practiced before. It's a beginner's mind. And with a beginner's mind, we have this sense of, like that sense of and awe. Okay. So sitting tall, let's inhale and lift the right arm as though we haven't lifted it before. Good. Just feel it. What does it feel like to have this arm lifted? Can you feel the weight of the arm? How does that feel? Not as a good or a bad. It's not like it's good or it's bad, that what you feel is what you feel. We acknowledge that. Let's exhale and lower the arm back down. Beautiful. And how does it feel to lower the arm back down? Sometimes we just do things automatically, but yoga gives us this chance, lifting the left arm up, to actually feel it and pay attention to it and draw our awareness to this movement as we move with breath. And exhale and lowering the left arm down. And the left arm may feel different than the right arm, as we know. Let's take both arms, lift them up skyward. It's not like we've never lifted our arms in this class before, right? We might do it every single class, but how does it feel on this Friday morning? Let's exhale and bend our elbows so we're in cactus. Elbows going a little bit lower than the shoulders, and you can check it out and see. And then inhale, lift up. You don't have to, because what we're really after in yoga is how does it feel? And then exhale, lower the elbows down. So we, in mindfulness, are paying attention to the sensation of the movement, reaching arms up and exhale and pulling them slowly down. Feel your shoulder blades on your back. Take your awareness to the back of your body. A lot of times we don't pay attention to the back of our body. Can you feel your shoulder blades moving as we lift and lower our arms? We lift them. You might feel like the shoulder blades are coming off the back. And then as we lower them, we feel like the shoulder blades are coming more onto the back. One more time. Lift up. Reach to your highest, push down through your feet and your thighs into the chair, and you just grew taller. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's flow the arms out to the side. Stop when you feel they're about shoulder height. Palms are upwards. Now feel the sensation of your arms out to the side. What does it feel like to have your right arm out to the side? And listen to your mind. Is it saying, I wish you'd stop talking and let us put our arms back down, right? Like, so what is the mind saying at this moment? It's got a lot of chatter going on in there. And then exhale and release the arms down. Now, notice, what does it feel like with your arms down? I just noticed the blood was flowing. So maybe take your fingers or take your thumb and just push it against your fingers. That was kind of a funny feeling because we had our arms up for a while, so the blood is moving. And that is something we are doing with the yoga, right? We're moving and our circulation is revving up. Let's take the right arm towards the left. Circle the elbow around and about, maybe gaze at the arm. And then let's reverse it. Take the arm up, circle it around, and open it up like you're opening up a platter. And then place this hand on the outside of your left thigh. So right hand on the outside of the left thigh. Then open up the left arm out to the side, gaze at your fingertips. Breathe in and breathe out. Cross the left arm over the right. Now, how does it feel for the left arm to be over the right? Then let's lift our arms about shoulder height, relax the shoulders, and then bring the forearms towards each other. Open up the elbows. So now our elbows are out to the side and the palms are pressing inward. Feel your palms. What does it feel like? I'm noticing mine feel a little bit warm. Notice, maybe they feel cold. Is it right or is it wrong? No. In yoga, there's no good or bad. There's no good or bad. We're so used to thinking something's good or bad. There is no good or bad in yoga. So now let's push our fingertips in towards each other. Notice how that feels. Feel your strength of pressing your thumbs, pointers, middles, rings, and pinkies in towards each other. Then the ridges of your fingers in towards each other. Then open it up and ridges back towards each other. Now we're using our strength. Drop the shoulders. Put the fingertips in towards each other. Imagine your hands are like suction cups. Let's open up the arms, press the palms away. Take your thumbs on the inside. See, I feel a stretch right there. Who would have thought? Bringing the thumb on the inside, I'm feeling all this stuff underneath the arm. I'm wondering if you are too. And then wrap your fingers around your thumb and circle the knuckles around and about. And listen, because you might hear some snap crackles, and then reverse it. Or listen just to see what's going on right now. And then let's lower our arms down into our lap. Round your spine, take a cat pose. So reaching the arms forward, hands towards the knees or top of the thighs. Now, we take our mind's eye to the back of the body. You can feel your shoulder blades, they are spreading. And then inhale, open it up. Take your arm bones back behind you. Now you feel your shoulder blades coming together. This is what it feels like for shoulder blades to come together onto the back. Round it. Arms on top of the knees or the thighs. Chin is to chest. Notice what you're feeling maybe in your shoulder area. I feel a little bit of tenderness, maybe something I did yesterday. Just notice what you're feeling. Open it up. Take the arm bones wide and back. Good. Now curl your fingers in towards your thumbs. I'm towards your palms, sorry. Thumbs are upward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take your hands in front of you, interlace thumbs and lift fingers. Bend your elbows and pull your elbows apart as you press your thumbs into they're interlocked, and then push them in towards each other. Breathe in and breathe out. And breath is in and breath is out. Release, let that go. Let's take the left arm now, take it towards the right, circle it around and about, maybe gaze back at your hand, and then circle it forward and around and about. And one more time, reach it towards the right, take your left hand outside your right thigh, and your right arm behind you. Maybe gaze at the hand. Take a breath in as you lift the arm up. Now we're going to cross it over. And so now the right hand is at the left thigh. And feel how this is with your arms crossed. Lifting the elbows. Take the forearms towards each other, palms in towards each other. Elbows out to the side. Bring the elbows back in. How about elbows together? Open up the forearms and the hands. And then palms together and open up the elbows. Beautiful. Interlace your fingers. Press the palms away. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's take our hands down and inhale and lift the heels up. Barbie feet, right? Barbie feet. I guess I keep thinking about that because the movie's out. So, and it hurts. Those shoes hurt. I'm so glad they showed Birkenstocks in that movie. You got to see it if you haven't. And then lower your heels down. Those high heels, they're torturous. Inhale, lift your heels up. Lift your heels up. Lift your ankles up. It's okay to stretch it. So notice what happens when we lift our heels. The front of the shin and the foot, they get long, and you might feel some muscle activation in your calf area or the sides of your calf. Let's lower the heels down. Now, push your right foot down and your left foot down into the earth, and then release. Push your toe pads down, both feet, press them down, spread the toes. Now, this is a situation where we might want to look at our toes, but we don't need to, right? So we could, as a yogi, think about what does it feel like to spread my toes? What does it feel like to lift my toes without looking at them? Place them back down, lift the heels, breathe in, exhale, lower the heels, inhale, lift the toes, no peeking, breathe in, breathe out, push both feet down into the earth. And let's open up into goddess pose. So it can be helpful to look at your body, not in a judgment kind of way, but a way of just kind of connecting the vision with what's going on in the body. So we say in goddess pose, heel and ankle are under knee. If we were to draw a line from our kneecap down, it would be a straight line going down. So we can check that out because this would be a nice alignment to have so that we can really feel the energetics of the pose. Sometimes when the heels are in like that, that might put a little bit of stress on the knee. So it is better to have the heel under, and that's something we can do. We can adjust and bring the feet in, but still keep the ankle underneath. So it's not about whether the feet are good here or better here or best there. It's about where is the pose for you on this Friday morning. Where is it best? How wide should your legs be? Let's take our arms out into T. We're going to reach our ribs towards the right, and then inhale the center and reach them towards the left, and come back to center and reach them towards the right and towards the left. And bring your hands to your thighs. Let's slowly, we're going to come forward with our spine. Take your sitting bones back. So you might do some adjustments. I'm walking my hips back slightly on the chair. Sitting bones back as spine moves forward. Then draw your shoulder blades up and back. Feel your shoulder blades on the back. Breathe in and breathe out. This is like a little cobra pose. Now, as we lean forward, notice how the weight changes in your feet. So you probably feel more weight in your feet. Make it nice and even. Really push down through the feet. Hands are on the thighs. Shoulders are up and back. We're going to press down through our feet and inhale, take our arms out to the side and maybe up towards the sky. I use the word maybe because everybody's different. Maybe you don't take both arms up overhead. Maybe you only take one arm up overhead. It's an option for you. Take your hands to your heart. Let's go back down. Hands on the thighs. Trace your hands down towards wherever you can reach. And just notice how that feels. And then lengthen your spine forward. Then bring your palms back on top of your thighs, roll the shoulders up and back, feel this baby cobra. Now take your sitting bones back, and as you take your sitting bones back, feel what happens in your lower spine. You might feel that curve coming in more. You feel your buttocks, we call it blossoming. Yeah, the sitting bones are spreading back behind you. And now we're going to push down through our feet, rise up, arms up overhead, hands at the heart. Now, let's bring our feet back together. Yeah, let's do that a few times. Notice, was that a long time to have your feet out wide? Did they feel like they were stressing out? It was too wide. Maybe next time you don't go quite as wide, or maybe you go, you know what, maybe I could go a little bit wider. And so this is a decision that you make. Let's take our hands to the side of the chair, open up the feet wide again. And if you have a block, take it and put it in the middle of your legs. Breathe in and breathe out. Lean forward, take the sitting bones back. We have our cobra pose, then lowering the right hand down towards the block. If you don't have a block, you can take your forearm to your right thigh. Then bring your left hand to your hip. Circle the left shoulder up and back. Now, while you're doing this, bring your mind's eye back to your legs. Notice if maybe the right knee is coming inward. Push down through the foot and open it up back so that the knee is stacking over the center of the heel. Notice I'm not looking at it. This is all about feeling. And perhaps you lift the left arm skyward. It's a perhaps. It's not a must. It's never a must in yoga except to be safe and breathe. Those are your musts. Other than that, it is choices we make. Maybe you bend your elbow and take your left hand behind your back and notice how that feels. Maybe. Inhale, lift the arm back up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the elbow. Take your hand back behind you. One more time. Lift it up. We're going to push down through our feet. Inhale, rise up. Awesome. Hands at the heart. Now take a moment. You might even close your eyes. Breathe in. Belly expands. Breathe up towards the heart. Exhale out through the nose. How does your body feel now? Just notice, does it feel a little lopsided? Notice the sensations, not as a good, bad judgment, just as whatever they are. We're going to take now our left hand to the block or forearm to the thigh if you don't have a block. You don't need a block, by the way. It could be pillows stacked. It could be books stacked, right? We're not particular. Whatever you can put in front of you to get a little bit of height. It could even be a little table in front of you. Okay, so we've got our left hand on the block. Let's circle the right shoulder up and back. That helps us to open up the body as we twist towards the right. Then we might lift our right arm towards the sky and slightly lean back. Push down through both feet and feel whether you've noticed that the left knee is rolling in. And if it's rolling in, press down through the foot and maybe towards the outside of the left foot to bring it back into balance. And then let's bend this right arm and take the back of the hand towards your back and then lift it back up. And if your hand doesn't go all the way back there, then just touch your hip, right? So hand moves towards the hip or towards the lower back. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bending, placing hand back there. We're going to push down now. Rise up, and take your hands to the side of the chair and jump your feet towards each other. You can always move one and then the other. You don't have to jump them open and close. just might be a little fun. Let's try that a few times. Holding on to the side of the chair, open up the legs, and exhale and close them. So there's a little bit of rocking. You can have your hands on the side of the chair or not. You could have your hands in front of you or not. Just having a little fun with a movement we might not have done. And breathe in and breathe out. Okay, let's do some stretching. I'll turn to the side to make sure that you can see me. And extend both legs forward. Extend both legs forward. Push your heels down. Push those heels down like you mean it and pull your toes towards you. You can hold on to the side of the chair. We're towards the edge of the chair. And then point the toes away and pull them in. And notice, so we've done this movement before. If you've been to this class, you know we've done this before. I like this because it stretches the back of the legs and the front of the legs. It gets our ankles and our feet moving. And this is a great way to start stretching the legs. So we point and we flex, and we point and we flex. And maybe the toes move downward, maybe they don't. It doesn't matter, just feel it. So notice, as you point, you might feel like you're getting a stretch on the top of the leg or the foot. And then as you pull the toes in, you might feel like you've got some tightening or contracting in the back of the calf. Let's drag the heels back in towards us. Breathe in and breathe out. And now extend the right leg, keeping the left knee bent. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Exhale, take your hands to the chair. We're going to play with lifting and lowering the leg. Does not matter how high this leg goes. We're not cheerleaders. Well, we're cheerleaders for each other and we're cheerleaders for ourselves. Yes, that's right. I see Nora going, yes, we are cheerleaders. All right. So holding onto the side of the chair, lift the leg up and exhale, lower down. And if you got a boot on your leg, it's going to be a heavier leg, right? You're using ankle weights, or it's like using ankle weights. So inhale, lift the leg, exhale, lower it down. Now notice what it's like with the heel pushing away and the toes up, and then exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift it. Maybe it lifts about halfway. Maybe it lifts an inch off the ground. Doesn't matter. Keep your belly pulling in and up. Leg lifts. Exhale, lowers. Inhale, it lifts. Maybe you take the opposite arm, so the left arm out to the side. Breathe in and breathe out. And notice, is this guy getting tired? Maybe it is. Let's exhale and lower it down. Give it a little break. Now, let's play with pushing the right hand into the right thigh together. They're going to push in towards each other as we lift the leg. And so we're giving resistance. Legs pushing into hand, hands pushing into leg. Keep that shoulder back. You don't want it coming forward and stressing out. Exhale, lower it. Let's try that a few times. Inhale, lift the leg, push your palm into the top of the thigh, and the thigh is pressing into the palm. Lower it down. One more time. Maybe you take the opposite arm out to the side. Breathe in, breathe out, exhale, release, let that go. Maybe open and close your knees a few times, just to release any tension that got in there. And then we'll go to the other side. So now we've got the left leg straightening, the right knee is bent. Let's hold on to the side of the chair and do it a few times with holding on to the side of the chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Maybe next time you take the opposite arm out to the side. Breathe in and breathe out. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift it. Maybe you take both arms up overhead. Maybe, right? These are maybes. Exhale, lower. Let's take the left hand, place it on the thigh, push the hand into the thigh and the thigh into the hand. See how that is. Push in towards each other. Notice this shoulder staying back. We are using our own strength. Notice, what do you feel here? How does the weight of the leg feel? What kind of muscular action do you feel in your leg? Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, lower it. Inhale, lift it. Pressure in, pressure's up, and pressure's going down at the same time, which helps us come into strength and balance. One more time, take your other arm out to the side. If you so desire, and exhale and release, and open and close your legs. Open and close them. Notice how your body feels now. Let's do a little boat pose in the chair before we go down to the earth. I know it's your favorite, right? It's your favorite. I know it's not necessarily your favorite. You might want to put a block in between your thighs or the strap around your thighs. Let me just remind you, the block, when we put it in between the thighs, is activating the inner thighs. There's this natural tendency to hug it. If you put the strap around your thighs, then you're activating the outer thighs, and we can push out into the strap. And some people have a tendency, their knees fall inward. And so the strap around the thighs is probably the best option, but they're both kind of nice to play with. So here we go. I'm going to use the strap here since it took a while to get it on, right? You don't have to use either. You don't have to use either. It just gives, why do we use these props? It's another way to feel from the inside. And it's another way to activate muscles in our body, or to find alignment, or to get a little bit more into the pose. So here we are. We're pressing our outer thighs into the strap. We'll lean back. Now you might have the block in between your thighs, so ignore that part. We lean back and then come on back to neutral. Let's lean back, maybe come up onto your tippy toes. Maybe one arm lifts and then come back to neutral. Now, next time we might do the opposite arm or both arms. Maybe we lift one leg a little bit. Maybe we lift the other leg. Make sure you're breathing. Breathe in and breathe out as you alternate lifting. You can also rock this forward and back. You might try to lift both legs, but I'm warning you, it's tough. It's tough. Make sure your chair is safe. Wherever you're sitting, you don't want that chair to go back. And then place your feet down. That's why it's nice to have the chair against the wall. Then you know that chair is not going anywhere. Now, let's do a little bit of weight bearing while we're here. So shoulders up and back, hands on the side of the chair, pushing down through the feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. We got a little bit of weight bearing. Shoulders are up and back, heart is lifting. Then exhale, take your sitting bones back, sit down on the chair. Notice how that feels. So on the earth or in the chair, there's a little bit of weight bearing as our hands are down on the chair. This is a back bend. And it's helping us to build some strength in the upper body and the lower body. So we're pushing down into our feet. If you have the strap in between your legs, push out into the strap. If you have the block in between your legs, you can hug into the block. And if you have both, you can do both. You can kind of alternate. So here we go. Inhale, lifting hips, heart rising, pushing down into feet. Neck is not dropping back. It is extending from the heart. So no dropping the head back. Exhale, take your sitting bones back to lower down. If you don't take the sitting bones back, it's hard to lower it to go back down. One more time, just for fun, okay? So press your hands into the chair, shoulders up and back, push down through the feet, lift the hips, Bring your awareness to your inner thighs, pushing into the block, or your outer thighs, pushing into the strap. And let's exhale and lower that down. And we'll take all this stuff off if you had it on, and we'll go down towards the earth for the next part of the class. And so here we go. I'm gonna move the chair against the wall because that really is the safest thing to do. And then you want to have a blanket, a strap, your blocks by you. This is where you take your time and you don't rush. You take your time and you don't rush. Because most important is your safety. And some of you say, you know what? This is why I don't do yoga. I'm not going down to the earth. And guess what? We respect you for that because that is your choice. You are the only judge of whether this is safe for you. Nobody else. You know from inside if it's safe for you to go down to the earth. And so you make that decision. Some of you say, okay, I'm done with the class at this point. And some of you say, you know what, I'm going to do what I can. And I'm going to make some modifications and stay in the chair. And you are welcome to do either. So here we go. Hands on the chair. We're going to slowly lower down. Take our time and move the chair out of the way. And I'll move it so you don't have to see it. I got to keep it looking feng shui, right? So you guys think I'm neat and tight, right? That's me worrying about what are they thinking? What are they thinking about my space? What is going on over here? All right, so let's do some cat-cows. And we're placing our hands. So here we are weight bearing with our fingers spreading. And our hands are just forward of the shoulders. Exhale, round the spine, chin is to chest. And then inhaling, sitting bones rise. And shoulders come together. Neck is in line with spine. So this is too far back and this is too far forward. You cannot see yourself in a mirror unless you had a mirror right next to you. So you have to feel it. It's going to come from the inside. Feeling whether the neck feels long or not, or feels like there's a kink in there. Let's do it again. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Pull the belly in. Push down through your palm. Push down through your fingertips and feel your strong arms. Reverse it. Sitting bones rise, shoulder blades together on the back. Now, come back to a neutral table. So lift your ribs up. Feel the crown of your head move forward. Take your hips towards the right and take your gaze towards the right like you're looking at your back hip. You may or may not see it. Then come back to center and gaze towards the left hip. And the left hip is moving towards the left. So we're making a C curve. Go back towards the right and back towards the left. And then let's take a little break in child pose or a pose that you consider resting for you. This is another example of not everybody likes child pose. Some people go, oh, that hurts my knees. I don't like it. For whatever reason, you might find that just sitting or going on your back is more restful, or some people like to go on their belly. So here's what child pose is like. If your shoulders are tight, you might stack your forearms, relax your forehead on your forearms. Knees are usually wider than hip distance apart, but if you feel like you need more support in your back, you might bring your knees together. So like that. So out or in. And then let's let the hips sway to the right and to the left. Breathe in and breathe out. And let the hips sway one way and then the other. Then come back to center, and maybe you lengthen your arms, maybe you don't. You can always keep the elbows bent. Walk your hands towards the right, so we're making that C curve with our body. So the hips now on the right side are going to the right, and we're making a curve as our arms move towards the same side, so towards the right, and the lengthening is now on the left side of the body. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. Let's walk the hands back to center and go the other way. By the way, you could do this without your hands lengthening. You could still walk your torso towards the left and the elbows are bent. So either lengthen them or bend them as you get this nice side stretch. Your arms are towards the left. Your hips are probably pulling towards the right and your arms are going to the left. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. And then walk your arms back to center and let's lift up. We'll lift back into table pose and we'll do some more leg lifts and kind of, well, those fire hydrant lifts with the doggy. So here's what it looks like. First, let's extend the right leg, curl the toes under. Our weight is under, in our palms, but we're spreading it across our fingertips. That's our weight bearing. We've also got some weight bearing. You might feel it in your left hip. We're going to lift the right leg no higher than hip height. So not up there. It can be down there. Let's inhale, lift it, exhale, lower. And you can do it at your speed, keeping your arms strong. That's our weight bearing as we inhale and lift and exhale and lower. Notice what you're feeling with each lift. You might feel some toning in your hip or your leg as you push the heel away. Now, if we point the toes, then we might feel it differently. You feel maybe some length in the front and maybe some contraction in the back of the leg. Let's pull the knee in towards us, open it out to the side, and then extend the leg back. Let's do that again. Pull the knee in, open it out to the side, extend it back. Try to keep your head level with your spine so the head isn't dropping. Bring it in like cat pose, chin is to chest, knee is lifting towards heart. Open the knee out to the side, keeping weight balance in your palms, in your arms. Extend the leg back. Take a little break. Let's bring that down and sway the hips right and left. Just sway them, maybe circle the hips. That feels really nice too. So these circular smooth motions can bring out some of the tension in the body and circle the other way. And let's do the other side. I'm going to turn this way so you can see. All right. So again, palms and fingers are spreading. We're pressing the pads of our hands down and also this pointer finger knuckle down. That will help our wrists. Or if your wrists are really sore, you can make fists with your hands and put your fists down like that. Or hands on blocks is often very helpful. So either one, there's so many different options. Extend now the left leg back. Press the heel away. Weight stays forward. So we don't want to move the weight back as the leg goes back. Our heart, if we were to draw a line from the center of our heart, it's going to go down in between our hands. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, lower it. Pressing heel away as we inhale, lift, and exhale, lower. You can take this movement really slow and feel the activation in your hip and in your leg muscles. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's pull the knee in, open up the leg like doggy fire hydrant, and extend the leg back, push the heel away. So it's a circular motion. Bring the knee in, towards your heart, gaze at your kneecap, open up the knee out to the side, feel that. There's definitely weight bearing going on the opposite hip. Extend the leg back, which is good for our bones. Extend the leg back. You can always skip part of this too. If you don't like the ERYT-500, don't do it. I mean, I shouldn't say if you don't like it. If anything hurts, you shouldn't do it. Let's do one more. Bring it in, open it up, extend it back. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's point the toes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. One more. Give it a break. Come down and onto your forearms, because that was a while to be onto your hands. Now, interlace your fingers if that feels good for you. And feel the outside of your forearms press down into the mat. You don't have to interlace your fingers. You can keep the forearms parallel. Just an option. We're going to rock forward and back. We're on our knees. Walk your knees back a little bit. That's going to bring you more into that plank pose. And then rock the front of your head or the top of your head forward and then back. So top of the head moves forward. Keep your ribs pressing up. And then exhale and take it back. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Head over knuckles. Now, here's an option. You might lift both knees up and come into this type of plank. It's only an option. It is not a requirement. And now we're going to lower down onto our belly and take a little break. So stack your hands and relax your forehead down. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, lift the right leg just a little bit and extend it back like it's getting longer. And then exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift the left leg, extend it back. So you're reaching back with the leg. You might feel a little stretch in the front of your thigh and lower it down. Then take your spider hands by the side of your heart, roll the shoulders up and back, and find your baby cobra. So pull your ribs back as you lift your heart and telescope it forward, and then exhale and lower back down. Not all the way, just almost all the way. Shoulders up and back, lift heart, push fingertips down, exhale, release. For the next one, you might push your whole hands down, roll the shoulders up and back. Then we know our shoulders are back and they're moving towards our spine. Then lift the heart, breathe in, breathe out, and release. Let it go, and let's go onto our back and stretch the back of our legs out. We've been working on strengthening. Let's do a little bit of stretching. Now you can keep the blanket and put it under your head or not. I'm just going to put it to the side here and maybe bring a block with you. So we're on our back. This is one of my favorite, and you can always do this in bed. If going on the floor isn't available, then try it in bed, because this is such an important stretch for rigidity, spasticity. Left foot's down on the earth, right foot is pressing upwards. Does it matter if the leg straightens all the way? Absolutely not. It's more about, what do you feel in the back of the leg? Do you feel a stretch? That's what we're going for. Pushing the big toe mound upwards, and feel, if you were to take your hand behind your back, you should feel a little bit of a curve, but also your ribs pressing down. So you might tilt your pelvis forward and back, and you'll notice how your leg moves a little bit. See if you can find that middle ground. And then Keep pressing the ribs down, but try to have a little lower back curve. And let's bend and straighten this leg a few times. And then eventually get to the point where you feel a stretch as you lengthen the leg upward. If you're really not feeling it, then go ahead and extend the bottom leg and be here. Now, some people really prefer if the loop is bigger, and that way they don't have to hold on to the strap for dear life. They can just put a few fingers in. And this is really nice. I'm getting a good stretch, but not really having to pull on the strap that much. So this is a nice place to be. And then let's take the leg out to the side, keeping the hips level on the earth, pushing the heel away. Now notice how my knee wanted to go to the side. So I'm going to push that foot down so it doesn't do that. That's bringing awareness to the opposite leg while we're stretched. So I brought my awareness to the left side, even though I'm stretching the right side, just to help us keep in balance. Breathe in and breathe out, and breathe in and breathe out. Notice what you feel. Do you feel anything in the bottom of your foot? Do you feel anything in the arch of your foot as you stretch? Where do you feel the stretch? Do you feel it in the lower leg, the upper leg? Let's lift it back up. Release the strap. Bend the knee in towards you. Give it a hug and extend the opposite leg down on the earth. Push the heel away as you pull the right knee in towards you. Give it a good. Pulling the right thigh in towards you and pushing the left heel away. So you're going to feel a nice stretch, perhaps through the front of the left thigh. Breathe in and breathe out. Then bend this knee and gently pull the knee towards your shoulder with both hands. And that just gets a little bit into the back of the thigh. You can turn the leg out a little bit so the knee is moving more towards the outside of your right shoulder. You can use one hand. You could also use the strap on your foot, and it would look like this. And so we're just opening up that knee out to the side, and you might feel a little stretch right there. If it's too much, bend this knee, bend that knee. And we'll release it, and we'll do the other side. So I am just going to swing around so you can see it. This can be done seated or in bed. Either is, it actually can be done standing, but don't try that. That's for another day. So let's put the strap on around the foot and then bend and straighten a few times. And you know, maybe you say, you know what, I don't need this bending and straightening because this leg is really loose. And so I'm just going to go towards straightening the leg and then feel it there. And you might say to yourself, well, I feel really stretchy, so I'm going to lengthen the bottom leg. But just notice before you do that, what sensation you're feeling. I'm feeling a stretch right around here, which I don't usually notice. So it's just something to be aware of. It's not, again, good or bad, but it gives us information about what to do next. Should I stay right here or should I extend the bottom leg? And only you know that. Only you know that. So if you feel like your lower back is creeping up, then we need to press the ribs down and maybe drag that heel back in if you extended it out. Feel the sensation of the stretch. Stay there, or maybe open up the leg out to the side. This time we want to keep the right hip down as the left leg is out to the side. And again, if this knee feels like it's falling out to the side, the opposite knee, then push that foot down. Push that foot down. Notice the sensation. Breathe in. Breathe out. So let the breath become soft. And as you focus on your breath, you might feel the sensation a little bit more. Just notice. Maybe bring your awareness to your toes, the back of the leg, the front of the leg. And then inhale and bring the leg back up. Let's pull the knee in towards us. Give it a hug. And then extend the bottom leg as you pull the knee in. And then we're getting a good stretch here. You might push the heel away from you on the right side and point the left, but you could play around and alternate that too. You might take the knee out to the side and use both hands to kind of pulse the knee outside your shoulder. And feel the opening, perhaps in the thigh area, back of the thigh area. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And then release and take a big stretch. Extend the legs. Take your arms up overhead and reach long. You might notice your ribs lift up. And then pull your knees in towards you and give yourself a big hug. And roll around on your spine. Yes, give yourselves big hugs. You deserve it. You deserve it. You made it to class today. You are you. You are you. And sometimes people like the mantra, I am enough. I am enough. So what does that mantra mean to you? Let's extend one more time. Take your arms up overhead. Reach your feet long. Feel a big stretch in your body. And then pull the knees in towards you and give yourself a hug. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then for our final pose, you want to find a place where you feel relaxed. So you might bring your feet together and your knees apart. And that's the lying down butterfly. Or you could be seated and put your feet on a chair in front of you for seated butterfly. Blocks under knees are really nice for support. So knees under just gives you a little bit of support. Might have your hands on your belly. And we breathe in and breathe out through the nose. Inhaling and exhaling as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And this could be the place where you relax. A lot of people love that pose, as long as you set yourself up to be supported, because you don't have the blocks or pillows underneath your knees. Your knees can start to feel funky. And then at some point you might lengthen your legs because you don't want to stay there forever in the butterfly pose. And then relax in whatever pose you like. Maybe you extend your legs. Arms are down by your side. Relax the breath. Relinquish control. This is where we want to feel like we are a human being, right? In yoga, we acknowledge we're a human being. We're not a human doing. Be with your body just as it is in this moment. Feel the life circulating through you. What is the sensation in the body as you are in this relaxation pose? What does it feel like to relax? Can you give yourself permission to relax? Or is that a really tough thing to do? For many of us, it's very challenging. Can we give ourselves this gift of the yoga And part of the yoga is the restorative poses that help us to refresh and renew as we breathe in and out. The breath is like waves, one after the other. One melds into the next without us trying to get anywhere or do anything. The whole body in stillness. Feel what it's like to be still, even if it's just for a few seconds or breaths. And you can stay in your resting pose or revisit it throughout your day. We'll bring our palms together to close the class for those of you coming out of the restorative pose. And we bow in towards our mudra of palms together in front of heart center. This is a way of connecting, of gratitude, of acknowledging the intelligence in the heart. Honoring, respecting, knowing this intelligence and how it feeds our whole well-being. Namaste, everyone. I hope